to present a member of the class of 2014, Grace Gilker. Grace was selected by her classmates to share thoughts with them and with us.
Thank you, Ms. Margot. Before I begin, I've been asked to make a few housekeeping notes. I hope that's all right. The administration has asked me to remind you that noisemakers are inappropriate and will not be tolerated. The class of 2014 would like me to remind you that that's like a loose no toleration. Also, we love the chairs. They're great. Thank you. I've been told that the graduation speaker would like you to keep her in your prayers because at the ripe age of 18, she has to follow Robin Roberts. A few lost and found notices. Miss Bonnie Jean, the volume you're looking for from the seniors in our song, it just doesn't exist. I'm very sorry. Mr. Ashton and Mr. Brown, no one has come forward with your hair, but we will keep you updated. Security, the woman you were looking for, she was found on stage 2 years ago. Graduates, your motivation was found languishing in January. We will return said motivation to you at the end of the program in a bag with a Centennial t-shirt. Oh, and for those playing Hockaday Commencement Bingo, I have been instructed to relay the following messages. Ela, Cornerstone, Hocka Punch, Cornbread, and Gertrude Stein, Jade Plant, Whole Girl, Centennial, Centennial, Harbinger, Centennial, we are all connected. Now, friends and family, guests and gents, beloved faculty, and the tech. We are gathered here today to celebrate the product of dedication, moral support, caffeinated support, and sleep of all kinds and all places, including the ground in a busy hallway at 1:30 p.m. The class of 2014 has fulfilled all of our class requirements. We're graduating and we're all going to college. We've come a long way as a class. We started out as blissfully clueless pre-Kers, grew into painfully oblivious middle schoolers addicted to AIM, blossomed into frightened freshmen who desperately texted their mothers to pick them up early from mixers, and matured into young women who leave mixers early by driving themselves. But the whole time, we knew we were the 100th graduating class, and to be fair, that has made everything a little bit better. Since lower school, we've picked up at least 80 girls, myself included, who found their new classmates to be empathetic and kind beyond anything that seemed remotely possible. Probably because our bond as a class at times felt more like comrades in arms facing an uncertain enemy rather than students in a high school. One member famously conveyed our experience this way. I just feel like Hockaday is the war and I am the horse, and if I just make it through one more minefield, they'll let me go home to my British family in the countryside. Well, the British countryside is calling. And while graduating does feel a bit like a Pyrrhic victory, Hockaday has instilled in us the values and skills, from character to confidence to writing, that have made us who we are today, and that will allow us to be women Ela Hockaday would be proud of. I, for one, would not change that for the world or even an endless supply of chicken parm. After all, we may be daisies, but don't you dare forget the killer prefix. And we may look just a little bit fascist during the graduation mark, but we also look fantastic. We look great. And I think Mussolini would probably agree if he could. While I'm sure that more than one person sitting up here today is very excited to begin a chapter of education featuring some cameos by Y chromosomes, let's take a moment of silence to appreciate the freedom to ask for a tampon publicly. That's gone. Gone forever. The optionality of brushing one's hair and other basic hygiene, also gone. Oh, and the ability to honestly and completely disregard what society calls nutrition. To be fair, it is statistically proven that teenagers under stress are more likely to turn to drugs, so when you think about it, it's really the cupcake or some substance prohibited by law. Underclassmen, that was my plea to keep advisory food, so you're welcome. We've learned a lot of things in our time here. No one is going to question that. But I think we can agree it's fairly obvious that social aptitude never made it to cornerstone status. I mean, we'll figure it out in college, it'll be fine, but we have been especially lost in the mire of adolescent interaction. Which sounds like a given because hormones, but no, you don't understand. We take FOMO, which is the fear of missing out for those who don't know, and existentialism and angst and the fine art of overanalyzing a text to entirely new levels. But that's not to say we're not poised. Every single girl up here could have given this speech and left you, well, speechless. That is a fact which I think is uniquely Hockaday. And while Hockaday itself is definitely one of a kind, the experiences that have bound our class together, be it prolonged, consistent sleep deprivation, reminiscent of a prisoner of war or first-year law student, or library doors that may actually be black holes based on how heavy they are. These occurrences created a sense of understanding amongst our class because we all experienced them. We've shared each other's triumphs, comforted each other in times of tragedy, and laughed at each other and ourselves consistently. And while it's entirely possible and even likely that all of us will never completely be assembled here again, we're together now, here, in this moment, and that's enough. We've always been a class that supports each other, and we'll keep being that class, even when we don't have the honor of saluting Keith every morning. After all, we're the people whose senior bonfire, an experience that usually brings out confrontation in other grades, became a 3-hour love fest where the school counselor had to force us to leave. We didn't even have a fire because there was a burn ban in the county. We literally sat in the dark for hours and just told each other how much we respected and admired each other. Even though we never went to Taos, I'm sorry, Mrs. Kramer, it's not your fault that there was a swine flu epidemic, but you must have known that we'd have remembered to mention the 7th grade trip that never was. Even without Taos, we've had the class identity that has allowed us to lead the school with self-assurance and compassion. Our sports teams won championships, our student council went above and beyond across the board, and our performers left us amazed. But that's thanks to more than just the seniors. Freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, I know you have to be here because it's mandatory, but we really appreciate it. You all really made a mark on upper school this year, and we can't wait to see what you have left in store for this place. But now, as we start to envy our friends that are already adept at cooking and doing laundry without changing the color of their clothes, we have to remember the people that got us this far. If it takes a village to raise a child, then scattered around the world, there's a Cowboys stadium-sized village that has helped our class get to where we are today. More than a few thank yous are in order, but I have time for these. 1, parents. For more than the obvious biological reasons, we wouldn't be here without you. From either allowing or forcing us to go here, to your relentless love and support, from Daisy Days to prom, we are so grateful for everything you have done and continue to do, even if we don't say it enough. Thank you for forcing us to write thank you notes. Thank you for demanding we spend time with our families. Thank you for teaching us humility, strength, and kindness. Thank you for simply being our parents. We love you and we promise to call. Number 2, teachers. Hockaday may technically be an address on Welch Road, but you are the life and blood and soul of this school. You are what made us roll out of bed every morning. You're the ones who pushed us to see what we could really achieve. You're the ones who understood when life got to be overwhelming. You're the ones with the wisdom and beauty to put couches in your rooms. Our respect for you is the only way we managed to turn anything in second semester. You not only love your subject, but you love them so much it's infectious. Your encouragement of us, camaraderie with us, and compassion towards us are unparalleled. We really just wanted to make you proud, and we still do. We can only hope to find mentors like you once we leave. Oh, I seem to have lost the last page of my speech. Oh, it's in here, right. Thank you. You're welcome. We got, yes. Okay, we had just finished teachers for those who lost their place. Number 3, Hockaday faculty. The administrators, the maintenance staff, security, everyone in the cafeteria. Thank you for being the people behind the scenes that make Hockaday work. We may not realize it, but you are an integral part of our journey. Number 4, Netflix. Although you probably almost kept some of us from graduating, You also gave us West Wing and that 70s show, and for that we are forever grateful. Oh, I almost forgot, there are a few more graduation speech requirements I have to meet, so if you all bear with me. Webster's Dictionary defines graduation as an event prefaced by this amount of girls frantically checking the weather for months and doing anti-rain dances and praying to every deity just to cover their bases. You are the future. Okay, everyone make good choices, and with some luck that should be the case from a time-space continuum standpoint, although we are all technically the present and the past too. It's good. This is the best time of our lives. No, it's not. Half of us still have curfews. We have a world to conquer. Yes, there'll be more responsibilities than we could even imagine, and we'll realize just how much we don't know, but there'll be more horizons to explore and more fun to be had. Follow your dreams, especially if they make you money. But even if they don't, any graduate here will probably be able to find a way to turn a profit on passion. As we go forth to what should be a fantastic graduation party, we should remember that this is not the end, it's the beginning. The beginning of a world without plaid skirts that are either too big or too short, or too small or too old but are worn every day anyway. Which is also the end of uniforms, but also the beginning of civilian clothes, and that's kind of terrifying. How does one dress oneself? Again, we don't really know, but we're smart girls, we'll figure it out. Who will the class of 2014 be? I could tell you doctors and lawyers, but you already know that. No, the class of 2014 is more than professional grade. If you watch closely, you can see the networks growing out from the stage as we start to take over the world. We'll have the odd governor, senator, smattering of CEOs. We might even have a full-time mother in here somewhere, and more power to her, because anyone who can wake up an 18-year-old at 7 in the morning has powers I will never understand. It's worth remembering at some point that, just by the law of numbers, we're going to fail. It doesn't matter who we are, what we do, it's inevitable at some point, but that's not the end. If Hockaday has taught us anything, it's resiliency. So you have to write a 3-page paper in an hour, child's play. So your science lab failed to achieve the desired result. We'll handle it. So you didn't have lunch and you have to run 6 400-meter sprints for sports. We'll manage it. So the first 3 winter formal venues canceled last minute. It's under control. Our graduation song is from the Lizzie McGuire movie. We'll sing our hearts out. At least it's not Wagner, right? Class of 2014, Hockaday's 100th graduating class. My classmates, my friends, graduates. When I think about everything we've done and everything we have yet to do, we just need to remember that to whom much is given, much is expected. And we've been given an amazing education, and we have the duty to make the most of it. I just have one borrowed piece of advice to share. Be good, work hard, and have fun. I don't think there'll be any problems. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you.